Kenya is already one of the most developed and stable African nations and is set to become one of the world's new high-growth economies. In the next 20 years, Kenya will become a middle-income country with a sizable middle class and thriving industrial, technology and retail sectors.
People are coming back to Kenya because now there's new opportunities. With the infrastructure that has been developed, the submarine cables, the fiber optic networks, people have seen that they can actually come here and write software, develop new things, innovate and invent new things. The government here in the last 5 years has really worked hard at creating an environment here that would attract new investors, particularly ICT investors. I think we've done a great job. The ministry has done a great job in doing that. Now we need to cement that and create the other pieces of the puzzle to make it attractive to come and invest in Kenya. And I think we're busy doing that.
Kenya's goal is to achieve annual GDP growth of 10%, roughly what China has enjoyed over the last decade. And the Kenya Vision 2030 manifesto is the development blueprint which aims to kickstart this process. Realising these goals means tackling the practical obstacles to growth head-on. Vision 2030 seeks to transform employment markets, enhance social infrastructure and build national institutions.
We are really excited about this techno city which has been set up and the role it will play in terms of meeting the Vision 2030. And we as Kenyan, for instance, are also very, very happy to be part of this going forward and to be able to supply the power needs of not just the techno city, but also the rest of the country as we go towards the Vision 2030.
States of Nigeria, they have abundant solar irradiance which can be harnessed. It can contribute to not less than 40 to 50% of the current energy mix of Nigeria. So any investor in the world who is interested in establishing a solar farm can come to Katsina.
Agriculture is the foundation of Katsina's economy, and 3/4 of the population is involved in some type of farming. The land is fertile and the conditions are ideal for a variety of crops.
We are blessed with a wide range of climatic conditions. This variation supports a variety of crops. If you're coming from the north, where you can grow millet, cowpea, groundnut, and a little bit of sorghum. Down the south in the northern Guinea savanna, there you have the cotton. In fact, we call it the cotton belt of Nigeria, in fact, because Katsina grows more than half of the cotton grown in this country.
The state government is trying to promote agricultural production by providing fertilizer, pesticide and veterinary services to farmers to fight plant and animal diseases. Livestock raised in the area includes sheep, cattle, goats and poultry, and more farms are established in the state every year.
Anybody coming into Katsina State with a good production plan, whether it is beef or dairy, for grain production, for livestock, for goat production, for fisheries production, I assure you, you will get high return to investment. Whatever you invest, you will recover it quickly and make much more. And the impact is likely to be very positive on both the investor and the economy of the state.
Ghana lies on what was once known as the Gold Coast of Africa. As a nation, Ghana is a fascinating mix of the very traditional and the very modern. While much of the old culture is to be celebrated, there is also a need to ensure that everyone moves with the times, and that the women of Ghana, whose labours are visible everywhere you go, are treated equally according to the law. Part of the problem in Ghana is that there remains some conflict between modern laws and traditional practices. In 2007, the Ghanaian Parliament passed a fantastic law banning domestic violence. Unfortunately, it isn't quite working. It's as if they've got the structure of the building in place, but there's still no windows and doors. principal problems in Ghana is that women in the remote areas have no access to the law. It's a problem that has been addressed by Womankind in association with FIDA, the Federation of Women Lawyers.
Access to justice for women in Ghana poses a huge challenge for so many reasons. Women usually stay in abusive marriages and suffer all kinds of rights violations, and yet they have no access to the formal justice system. So FIDA Ghana came up with the idea of this community intervention program, which we call the community paralegals. And the idea is for them to assist the women at the community level. It's like taking the law to the doorstep of women in Ghana.
Welcome to the Department of Petroleum Resources. This section is intended to highlight the primary roles and guiding legislation of the Department of Petroleum Resources, which are as follows. 1. To regulate and monitor oil and gas activities in Nigeria to ensure compliance with proven standards and global best practices. 2. To conserve the nation's rich hydrocarbon resources. 3. To optimize government take from the exploitation, exploration and production of hydrocarbon resources. 4. To administer and provide accurate and reliable status of oil and gas reserves, production and export figures to government for strategic planning and national development purposes. 5. To promote and guarantee a safe, secured and environmentally sustainable development of the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. 6. To maintain and administer an effective repository for archiving and retrieval of all oil and gas data in Nigeria.
Nigeria is recognized as one of the world's emerging economies, and it relies very heavily on its oil and gas sector. And here, they require various technical and operational services that must be delivered to the same high international standards of quality and safety wherever they operate in the world. This is why, over the past 10 years, several of them have come to rely on Bell Oil and Gas, an indigenous Nigerian company with a passion for excellence.
Bell Oil and Gas was founded in 2002 by 3 individuals who came together with a shared and common vision and common goal to create an entity that will live and breathe the true meaning of indigenization and local content.
A lot of research in the UK and in Houston to see exactly where we wanted to play before we came out to Nigeria.
We just went to the original equipment manufacturers and suggested to them that based on the experience we had built up working in the West, we were the best people for them to work with if they were actually intent on building their capacity here in Nigeria. And we only approached companies that were either number 1 or number 2 in their sphere of, in their area of operation.
Bell Oil and Gas have carved an enviable niche with innovative products and services.
We, for instance, are arguably the only known Nigerian name in that field in terms of prefabrication, supply, installation, maintenance, repair, and that's why we've got a number of frame agreements and contracts on virtually all the FPSOs in the country.
Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, proudly serving, proudly feeding, proudly building Nigeria since 1960. When Flour Mills was founded in Nigeria more than 50 years ago, the country was a very different place. Nigeria had a population of 36 million. Today, the population surpasses 150 million, and with a swiftly expanding middle class, Lagos is one of Africa's most vibrant and energetic megacities. Nigeria's recent and rapid growth, largely fueled by the country's rich oil reserves, is astounding. Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC is proud to have witnessed and helped shape this unimaginable growth and prosperity in Nigeria.
When the company was started, we had a dream. We dreamed of feeding all Nigerians, providing for the infrastructural needs, supporting the agricultural economy, and creating jobs.
50 years later, the group has largely achieved these goals, making Flour Mills one of the country's largest blue-chip industrial conglomerates, publicly traded and quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Flour Mills at the time was the only flour milling company in Nigeria. We became, of course, the second largest single mill in the world.
And people just believe that it's a company that has come to stay because it provides food for the people.
What the company has achieved over 50 years is genuinely impressive. It's really remarkable.
Foreseeing the population boom of the 70s and 80s, the Flour Mills of Nigeria quickly diversified from its core business of flour milling, expanding into the packaging business in 1972 with Bako Moorpak, becoming the largest and most reliable producer of woven polypropylene bags.